So with that, I'm going to turn to Dr. Chiang, who will address a few of the questions that you have submitted. We have a question, Dr. Chiang, that came in related to whether or not the virus could be transmitted via a credit card, or if individuals handling cash transactions could transmit the virus.
Thank you, Dr. Kidd. Yes, so there's a lot of questions on if this virus can live on surfaces. It can. So on average, it can live about 8 days on a surface under the right condition. But when handling money or credit cards or door handles or elevator buttons, you should be washing your hands and sanitizing your hands anyway. So any commonly used surface, especially when you go outside, when you either sanitize your hand or wash your hands afterwards, they recommend 20 seconds with hot water and soap. So that's how you're going to kill the virus off. The virus is not going to jump off a surface and you're not going to inhale it. You literally have to touch it and then touch your face. The likelihood is very low, but it can happen. So we all recommend that you wash your hands for 20 seconds in warm water with soap.
And as a tip, some say singing the happy birthday song twice is one way to measure whether you cleanse your hands long enough with soap and water. So most definitely the most important thing that you can do to prevent transmission of the virus is hand washing. We have a question related to whether or not an infected person who is on home quarantine is being monitored for their whereabouts, whether or not they're leaving home.
Well, it depends on what you mean by infected. If someone is confirmed positive, and like Dr. Kidd said, it takes about 6 or 7 days to confirm the positivity of a test. At that point, the Department of Health will be notified, and they do check on quarantine at that point. Before that, we ask the patient to self-quarantine for 14 days. So no one is checking up on the patient at that point. But once you're confirmed positive by the coronavirus test, Department of Health is notified, and they will start doing tracing and also making sure you are on quarantine.
Okay, we have an individual who has identified herself as a senior that lives here in Santa Clarita. She says that she has to go out to buy groceries or to see her doctor periodically. What precautions should she be taking?
Well, we do not recommend wearing masks unless you yourself have cold-like symptoms. You can obtain the virus through your eyes also, so anybody wearing masks out there may not be that helpful, okay? If you don't need to see the doctor, do not go to the healthcare facility because you're more likely to catch it there than at home, obviously. So if it's a healthy visit, I will hold the visit until these quarantine periods are over and the social distancing is over. So right now it's the same recommendation: social distancing, self-quarantine at home, and also if you need to go out, when you come back in, wash your hands, of course, or sanitize your hands. So just basic precautions. But if there's no need to see your physician, if it's just a healthy visit, I recommend you do not go. You're more likely to catch it at a healthcare facility than at home, obviously.
Dr. Chiang, this has come up a couple of times, and I think we may have touched on it previously, but we continue to have questions around whether or not once you're recovered from COVID-19, are you immune, and for how long?
Well, this is based on the SARS-CoV-1 data. You're pretty much immune for a whole year. You have enough antibodies for a whole year, but we don't have the testing for the SARS-CoV-2, which is COVID-19 right now. So we don't know, but it does provide a bit of immunity, and you're unlikely to catch it again within a year. Whether it'll last 5 years, I do not know. But for the time being, it's really hard to catch it again. There's been 1 or 2 cases. They don't know if they caught it again or it's just the infection got better and then worsened again. But out of the hundreds and thousands of cases we only have 1 or 2 cases where someone seems to have COVID-19 again after getting better.
In terms of the blood supply, there's a question as to whether or not donated blood is checked for
No, to my knowledge, it is not. We check donated blood viral hepatitis, syphilis, and HIV currently. I mean, you have to understand, coronavirus is not something new. This is a new coronavirus. We never checked for the old coronaviruses either. There's 4 different strains of old human coronaviruses. We don't check for them in the blood either. And they account probably for about 30% of our upper respiratory infections on a normal cold flu season. So no, we do not check for it. Will they check for it? I'm not too sure, but it's up to WHO to recommend it. But right now, I don't think they check for it. They check for your standards, viral hepatitis, syphilis, and HIV.
We've had individuals in the community that have contacted us, as well as we have questions around, would the hospital be able to accept donated supplies? So from an infection control perspective, what are your thoughts about?
We are actually accepting donated supplies. I'm not really too sure what avenue they're going to donate to us. Maybe.
Yeah, if one of the things, and we specifically have had folks wanting to drop off N95 masks, for example. So through our website, you can make contact with us, letting us know what the items are. Of course, we're grateful for donations, but we wouldn't be able to accept all donations, and there's a process by which we evaluate. For example, N95 masks have expiration dates, so we need to make sure any products that we accept are hospital grade. So with that, again, we're certainly open, and we would love to receive things that we could use. But if you check our website, you certainly can communicate with us on things that you might have available, and how we might be able to connect with you on that. Our email address is covidinfo@henrymayo.com. So please, if you would use that email address, we'd be glad to consider those donations. At this time, we're coming to a close for today's session. We do encourage you to continue to submit your questions to us. Our next opportunity to address your questions on Facebook Live will be on this Wednesday. We do want to remind you that we have another blood drive that will be coming on next week, I believe it is, and we'll be reminding you at our next session. Do please stay tuned with us. We appreciate your tuning in. We hope today's session has been beneficial, and we thank Dr. Chiang for joining us today and answering your questions. Do take care, and we'll see you soon.